Hello guys, how are you doing? This is Exotic Gaming here, better known as Vladimir. I hope January 2020 is doing pretty well for you, huh? Maybe a little bit better than Siberian winter, but I don't know. Maybe you're watching from Siberia. Let me know down below. Anyways, I need to tell you a little something, huh? Come over here with me. Look at my little friend, huh? He looks pretty cool. His name is Johnny P. Johnny Peterson. That is his full name. Do not forget it, okay? He does not take anybody lightly. He will fire bullets into your head if you get in his way. He might be small, but he comes from Estonia. Very far northern country, very big people. He has the heart of a Viking. And he will not play around. One time, he was walking through the forest of Estonia, and he came across the bear. What he did was he first jumped on top of bear, he bit out the heart of the bear, and he ate it right there as the bear died slowly and painfully. Johnny Peterson is a menace to society, and I am proud to call him my friend. Now that we've gotten the introduction out of the way, how was my Russian accent? Haven't done it in a while. Let me know down below what you thought. Might need to brush up on it a little bit. I don't know. Today we're doing some gameplay with a weapon that is surprisingly very good in Pixel Gun 3D. When you upgrade this thing to level 65 in Mythical, turns out to be a fantastic weapon to use. The Johnny P, or Johnny Peterson as it's better known. Now this weapon is a fast-firing spray and pray type of weapon, and I absolutely love it. So enjoy the background gameplay now. Now guys, before we actually get into today's video, which is a little bit different because I'm not making a review, I'm actually going to be telling you all a story of something pretty crazy that happened to me while I was in Africa last summer. Hope to God I didn't tell you guys this story before. If I did, I apologize. Maybe I'll tell you guys another one later on in this video. But this is the story of how I might have potentially almost got eaten by lions. Let's just say that, okay? And that is not an exaggeration. I know you're like, dude, come on. Stop with the African stereotypes. Not everybody gets eaten by lions in Africa. But let me tell you something that actually almost happened to me. And I'm going to tell you guys the story in just a sec. If you guys do enjoy this video, you guys do enjoy this story, then you can please feel free to leave a like down below. If we get a ton of support on this video, then I will do that again in the very near future. If I can think up other stories from my past, because I'm kind of running out of them. I don't have that many more. Okay, my life is kind of crazy, but it's not that crazy to where I can have like a storytelling YouTube channel where I can literally tell stories every single day. Kind of like a guy that I know who I actually like a lot. His name is Luna. You might want to check out his channel. But yeah, I'm not like that. So, this might be one of my last stories for a while, unless maybe we get exceptional support and I can actually, you know, maybe even ask my parents for things that might have happened a long time ago that I might have never known about. Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you one story before I tell you this lion story, because this is something I found out from my mom not too long ago of something that happened to me, and it is very, very embarrassing, and I don't know why I'm telling it in a YouTube video, but I feel like I'm on a deeper connection with you guys, and like I can tell you these things, and you're not gonna like run around and tell my girlfriend, okay? Can you please not tell my girlfriend? This is between you and me. I don't want her knowing about this. This is embarrassing, okay? Please. All right. Anyways, yeah, let's actually get into this. This is the story. Very short, but it's funny, of something that happened to me when I was like 3 or 4. I don't really know. Probably too old to have this happen, but I was a stupid baby. Let's just say that. Michael was a stupid baby. We're gonna leave it at that. So my mom was sitting there in my house, you know, I don't know what she was doing. Maybe watching TV, maybe doing other stuff. Who freaking knows? Probably cleaning up a mess that I made because I was stupid when I was a baby. And, you know, she hadn't seen or heard of me in a while. And back when I was like 3 and 4, I was very noisy, okay? I was constantly running all over the place. Like, if there was a counter, I wanted to get on top of it, okay? I was that annoying little baby that ran all over the place. was Stinky, you know, Stinky baby, that was me, I'm sorry, okay? And, she was wondering why she didn't hear from me or, you know, anything, because that's very uncharacteristic of me. So, she starts searching around the house, trying to find where I was, and she goes down the hallway, which is to my room, and she sees the bathroom door shut. And she's like, oh god, there's light coming out from underneath the door. I think I know where Michael is. He's probably just stuck in the bathroom or something. Maybe he's constipated. Maybe he ate too much black beans and, you know, he's been on the toilet for a while. I don't really know. But she opens up the door, and I'm completely covered in head to toe with shaving cream. You know when you're in middle school and you have those shaving cream pranks that you maybe play on people? Or like, you know, it's like the end of the year and you have like this competition where you get to make a pie out of shaving cream and throw it at a teacher? Well, imagine using like 10 shaving cream bottles and then covering yourself entirely naked from head to toe in shaving cream. I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what I was into when I was 4 years old, but that actually happened, and my mom was in complete shock. Worst thing was, she got some video of it. Yes, there are actually videos of naked 4-year-old Exotic Gaming covered head to toe in shaving cream. Am I gonna show it in a YouTube video? Absolutely not. Like, you're gonna need to give, like, 100,000 likes before I show that video in a YouTube video. And I know darn well that's not gonna get it, because no video on my YouTube channel has come even close to that. So, good thing I'm safe, okay? Just watch, like, PewDiePie, like, shouts me out, and then that might be a slight problem. Please, no. But yeah, that's just completely unrelated to this video, because you know, you heard me say I almost got eaten by lions, and you're like, Exotic, can you please get on with this story? I want to know how you almost got eaten by lions. And if I told this story before, I apologize. I don't know what I say on my YouTube videos. No idea anything I've said basically like a month or earlier, okay? So if you come across something that I said in 2016 and you're like, dude, why'd you say that? Pff, I don't know, dude. I don't know what I said. I have 1,000 videos on my channel. Who the heck freaking knows? But anyways, sorry. Getting back on track here because I'm really bad at that. I was in Africa, which, by the way, was my favorite place I have ever visited. I've been to all 7 continents, including Antarctica, and I love Africa more than anything, okay? I've told you before, but I've been to South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana. If you've been to any of those countries, you know they are absolutely fantastic, okay? Unless you're, like, in the slums of Cape Town, South Africa, and then, you know, that's where things might get a little bit iffy. But if you're out in the wild sides of all of these countries, beautiful. Some of the best things you could ever possibly see. Animals galore. I mean, seriously, you look at a Planet Earth documentary, and you're like, Africa's not like that. No way. They exaggerate everything all the time. You go to Antarctica, you're not going to see penguins everywhere, right? Wrong. You are. And in Africa, animals everywhere. Lions, elephants, zebra, freaking chimpanzee. Is it chimpanzee? I don't know. Some type of monkey I saw. Who the heck freaking knows? Animals everywhere. Awesome. But one of the nights, I decided to stay on the mouth of a river. And this river is called the Okavango River in Botswana, right in the center of the country. If you go on Google Maps and you search Botswana, you'll see 2 very characteristic landforms in the north of the country. On the right side, there is this big white section of land, and that is called the Makadikadi Pans. I actually have a YouTube video of me sleeping out overnight on those salt plans. Amazing. I mean, it's completely flat, the entire size of an entire country, okay? Awesome. You should probably check that video out. I'll have it linked in an annotation below. But on the left side, there is a river delta, and this river, the Okavango River, runs through several countries: Angola, Botswana, maybe Zambia, not entirely sure, Namibia, and then it comes to rest in the middle of the Kalahari Desert. It just stops because it's so hot in this desert and it's so dry that it just dries up. And there's this big fan of rivers, just like you would picture in a river delta, just like the Nile Delta, just like the Amazon Delta, just like the Yangtze River Delta. And all of the animals from all over the desert congregate in this one specific area. I mean, because why the heck would you be an elephant and stuck in the middle of the sand? You don't want to be stuck in the sand. That's not fun. Where are you going to get water? You're going to die. So you come to where the river is, and all of these animals are clustered in this one spot. I stayed at this one camp. Not actually going to mention the name, but it's a camp where you have tents that are raised up on stilts, and that is in the middle of absolute nowhere, okay? It's a really nice camp. It's like what you would consider a luxury African camp, and if you've ever seen pictures, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so we get there. We're there several days. Some of the best animal sightseeing I've ever seen in my entire life, okay? We had a guide named Humphrey from Zimbabwe. Awesome. I love him to death. He is the best freaking guide I ever had. But man, sometimes he was scary, okay? Because we're sitting there in the middle of nowhere in nighttime, driving in this little four-wheeler Range Rover type thing. It was a Land Rover, that's what it was, right? And imagine that stereotypical African safari truck driving through the forest at nighttime in Africa, and you hear sounds all around. You hear leopards, you hear lions roaring, you hear antelope, and all these other things. And one time we were stopped. We were outside of the car eating, and everybody was silent, and then we heard something. We heard a very scary noise, and our guide Humphrey was like, "Guys, hold on, listen. I think something is dying. Let's go find out." And imagine, right, something died somewhere over there. You're like, oh God, it's probably a bunch of lions. I'm out. I'm heading the opposite direction. What does our guide do? Have us go that direction. We never saw the thing that died, but that night, we went back to our camp. And these camps are no joke, right? You're not allowed to leave your tent at night. After sunset, it's too dangerous to go outside by yourself. You need to carry a gun with you to protect yourself, because anything can be out there and anything can kill you, and you don't want to be stuck in that type of situation, okay? It's very scary at nighttime when you're there. If you've ever been in Africa in nighttime, if you've been there at all and you've done these safaris, daytime is fine. You can have 10 lions walk right past your car. They don't care about you. They're just going to keep minding their own business, and you feel safe. You feel fine. Maybe day one, you're a little bit iffy, but very quickly, you feel perfectly fine, and you realize, okay, I'm in this big, massive car. They think of the car as one big object, and they don't want to mess with that. Because lion versus car, I'm sorry, car's gonna win, okay? That's just the fact of life. And maybe machinery, because a car isn't alive. But hey, anyways, besides the points. Nighttime comes, completely different story. It's cold. It's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a little above freezing. You have to wear jackets. You're cold, right? And you're driving through darkness. There's no lights anywhere. You're in the darkest area of the entire world, aside from like maybe the middle of the ocean or something like that. And you hear these sounds all the time. You don't know what's going to be around a corner. It could be a gigantic hippopotamus. Who the heck freaking knows? They don't turn on the headlights because they're scared of blinding the animals. So you're just driving in the dark, in the middle of the night, with no cell reception, no coverage, by yourself. That's it, right? Very scary stuff. So, picture it. It's nighttime. We're back in our tents. We're okay because we're on an elevated platform, but it's still very scary that you're, sitting there in the middle of nighttime and there's sounds all over the place. There's elephants that are ripping trees apart right next to you, and you're like, okay, it could be an elephant, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's a freaking chimpanzee running through the trees and is going to tear my tent down and eat me. I don't know. Chimpanzees don't eat people. But you know what? When you're in that situation, you might think that happens, okay? So we're sitting there. It's nighttime. We're trying to sleep. And it's like 2 a.m. And then we hear something. And it's a little bit different from the other sounds that we've heard before. We've heard hippopotamus, or hippopotami. Is that the plural? I have no idea. We've heard crocodiles, I think. I don't really remember. But we've heard elephants, and we've heard even hyena. And all these animals aren't really a threat that much, right? Unless you get like a big pack of hyena. Even though they're very dangerous, like a hippopotamus, you don't think of that as a super scary animal. But this sound was like a growling sound. And it was very different, very scary. And we didn't hear one growl, we heard multiple growls. And then we heard the sound of something that sounded like it was being chased. So, here's what me and my stupid brother did. Both of us very stupid. What we decide to do is at 2 a.m., open up the door. Check out what's going on outside, right? Because that's what you do. If there's a person with a gun standing outside your house, what are you going to do? Open up the door and see what's up, right? That makes a lot of sense. That's basically what we did. So we open up the tent. We go outside. We're like, that's weird. And then we go back inside. And we're like, okay, something was underneath our tents. We didn't want to go down there. I mean, imagine like there's stairs up to the tent. We're at the top of the stairs, and we heard stuff underneath our stairs, like a lot of footsteps, a lot of loud sounds, right? Slight growling sounds, other things. But the way that it sounded was, it didn't necessarily sound like it would be a lion or a cheetah or something like that, right? It sounded like it could be some monkeys, maybe, underneath our tent just playing around or doing something, you know? It sounded like that. These things were like 5 feet away from us, 10 feet away from us, if that, and they could 100% see us and hear us and know that we were right there, right? You have stairs up to where we were, so it's not like we were on a platform protected. They could just walk up the stairs, and hello, I'm gonna eat you if I'm a dangerous animal. But we were stupid. We didn't realize that, so we just go back inside, go to sleep, mind our own business, say, it's probably a monkey. It's just a little monkey. No big deal, right? Next day, wake up, we go to breakfast, meet up with our parents. We tell our guide, hey, Humphrey, there was some sounds outside of our tent at night, and we kind of wondered what they were. And he was like, okay, we are going to go find what this is, because I heard some growling from the lions nearby. And we're just like, hold up. We heard lions? Was that what we heard? I hope to God those things were not there right next to us. And we go walk back to our tent after we ate breakfast, and we find a bone. And it's not just a bone that's been sitting there for years. It is a bloody bone. The neck bone of an antelope, okay? The sad thing was, just a couple of days ago, we saw a little antelope. It's technically called a bush buck. And he was like the little resident bush buck. He was like the pet of the camp. He hung around the camp for 3-4 years. He was so nice that you could get up to him and pet him if you really wanted to. Take pictures with him, whatever. It was perfectly fine. He was this wild animal, but he was super friendly around humans because he knew humans provided protection. And guess what? Bush buck wasn't there anymore. That bone that we saw, that was all that was left of Mr. Bush buck. Mr. Bush buck became just a neck bone with blood on it. And that was killed by 7 lions. Yes, 7 lions, as our guide said, came by and hunted and killed this thing underneath our tent at night. Underneath it. Okay, it wasn't a mile away. It was underneath us. A few feet underneath us, there were only some wooden boards separating us and these 7 lions. 6 female lions and 1 male lion. And guess what? When we came down there, out of the tent at night, and we were standing there at the edge of the stairs wondering what that sound was, some of those lions were still there, and they could have killed us. We were that close, face to face with lions, we didn't even know we were. And after that moment, I realized that nighttime in Africa is no joke. And that was unexpectedly probably the scariest moment of my entire life that I didn't even know was scary at the time. It was after the fact that I realized it was scary. It's like, imagine if you were living in a house somewhere in the middle of Oklahoma, right? And you decide, okay, I'm gonna move, right? On March 19th, okay? And March 20th, a tornado comes through and destroys the entire house, and that family that rented it from you died. Unintentionally, that became the scariest thing in your entire life because you narrowly escaped death. If you moved out the day after, you would have died. You would have been in place of that family, but you did, and luckily, you survived. Somehow, that was like my situation, and somehow we survived, and that was probably one of the scariest things ever in my entire life. But yeah, that was my story of Africa. And also, plus, a little mini bonus story of me being a stupid child as well. Yes, you never know what's gonna happen on the Exotic Gaming YouTube channel. You never know what I'm gonna throw at you. Could be a story one day, could be me, actually using a Russian accent on the same day. Yeah, that's a little bit awkward, but hey, it's already 20 minutes into the video. Feel like it's about time to finish things up here. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and you guys enjoyed the story. It's a little bit different than what I've normally done, and I can definitely do more if you guys want in the very near future. Also do more accents if you guys really want me to. I used to do those a lot, have stopped those a little bit recently, but I can definitely pick that back up and go back to normal with the amount of accents that I use in my videos. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. Turn on my post notifications for my video uploading tomorrow. And that's it. See you guys later.